In this video, we're going to apply the process that we would use to solve inequalities to actually solve some simple inequalities on this. So let's take a look at the first example. You have 2 times the quantity 4x minus 8 is greater than 26. So just like before, the first step you want to do is to distribute into the parentheses to get 8x minus 16 is greater than 26. And now we're going to solve for the variable. We would add 16 to both sides to get 8x is greater than 42. And then we would divide everything by the coefficient of 8. Now the reason I'm showing it is because I can tell right away that I'm going to have to simplify 42 over 8. They're both even. So let's try dividing both by 2 first, and we get 21 fourths, which cannot be simplified any further. Now I'm also going to graph these for us because I know that is an expectation in our class. And so what we're going to do is use a number line. And we're going to mark it just a few intervals. So 21 fourths, it's very close to 20 fourths, which that is the number 5. So let's put a 5 here. And then I'm going to go and put a 6 here, and then 7. So I'll go 5, 6, 7, which means I'll go a 3 and a 4 on the left. Now 21 fourths is 1/4 further away from 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this 5 to 6 interval in half, and then cut that in half. So I'm going to follow the pattern half here and then halves, and that gives me fourths in between each number on the number line. And so now I can actually graph it. So 21 fourths, x is greater than 21 fourths, so that would be an open circle on 21 fourths. Greater than means my solution space would be to the right. So I would draw my arrow to the right. And that's the answer. We have the inequality with the graph. Now let's take a look at the next one. We have 7x minus 3 times the quantity x plus 4 is less than 20. Well, we're going to have to distribute and combine like terms here to simplify that left side. So I get 7x minus 3x, and then it would be a minus 12 is less than 20. Well, the 7x minus 3x can combine to give me 4x. 4x minus 12 is less than 20. Add 12, 4x is less than 32. And then if you divide by 4, x is less than 8. So it's going to be the same idea. I'm going to have my number line. I have x is less than 8. So I'm going to put 8 right here in the middle. So 8, 9, 10, 11. And say we got 7, 6, and then 5 and 4. And I have x is less than 8. So I would put an open circle on 8, less than with the arrow going to the left. And there's my solution space for it. So let's do a couple more examples. I have here -4 times the quantity 2x plus 7 plus 3x is less than or equal to 22. I mean, look how complicated this is on the left. So before I start moving anything, let's distribute and then combine like terms. So -8x minus 28 plus 3x is less than or equal to 22. So I get -5x minus 28 is less than or equal to 22. I would then add 28 to get -5x is less than or equal to 50. Let me edit this to give me a nicer looking 22. And so now I'm going to divide the left and the right side by -5. And so that should stand out. I am dividing by a negative, which means my next line I would have to flip the inequality symbol. 50 divided by negative 5 is negative 10. So really, it's x is greater than negative 10. And I would graph this on the number line. So x is greater than negative 10. So let's put that in the middle. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Here's negative 8, and here's negative 6. So negative 7, negative 9. So I'm going to go by 2's just to change it up. Negative 12 and negative 14, and then here's negative 13, here's negative 11. So x is greater than or equal to negative 10, which means I have a closed circle on negative 10. Greater than would be all the numbers to the right of it. And there's our solution. So now if we take a look at number 4, again, I mean, look how complicated we can make these, but the process never changes. Simplify the left side, simplify the right side. So let's distribute the negative 2. So I get 7 minus 2x minus 18. Distribute the 5, 5x plus 40. So it's less than or equal to 5x plus 40, and then you're subtracting 2. Combine like terms. You get negative 2x minus 11 is less than or equal to 5x plus 38. And now let's solve. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the negative 2x to the right side. I'm going to do that by adding 2x. And so I get negative 11 is less than or equal to 7x plus 38. I then would subtract 38 from both sides and get negative 49 is less than or equal to 7x. Now when I divide by 7, I'm going to show it here. Normally I don't if it's a positive, but I'm going to. I'm dividing by a positive. However, one mistake that always occurs with students is they think, well, this is negative, so I have to flip the inequality symbol, and you don't. It's if you're dividing by a negative, which means if the denominator is negative, then we're going to flip the inequality symbol. Here, we just leave it alone. Negative 49 divided by 7 is negative 7. So I have negative 7 is less than or equal to x. And this is a point in our how to approach solving these. I made the statement never end with the variable on the right side. It's going to mess up your graphing. Always put it on the left side. So I'm going to take one more step. If negative 7 is less than or equal to x, then that means your x value is greater than or equal to negative 7. So in the approach video, how to approach solving inequalities, I said just flip it around. And so since the inequality opens up towards the x, when you flip it, open it up towards the x. So x is greater than or equal to negative 7. And so here's negative 7. Here's negative 6. Here's negative 5. Here's negative 4. Here's negative 8 and negative 9. Since x is greater than or equal to, it would be in a closed circle. And here, arrow to the right. And that is your solution space and the solution inequality. So we dealt with some pretty complicated problems here, but the bottom line is it dealt with just simplifying first and combining like terms, and then start moving things to the left side or the right side and to go from there. So I hope you found this video helpful with solving simple and complicated inequalities involving one variable.